Hi, my name is Larry Smith III, and I'm an author of four books. They're called, in order, they're called Smiling Through the Pain, The Other Side of Ecstasy, The Power of Achievement, and Black Gold Down Under. You can find my books on Amazon. That's where you can find them at on Amazon. And a little bit about this video that I'm making. I want to make this video to inspire others who are watching just in case they don't know what their purpose is in life. The way I found my purpose was I was, in my room and I was just searching on the internet and I saw people, from my school, who were graduating from college and stuff like this. So I decided, to one day go out and get a pen and a tablet, from a Walgreens, and I just started writing and I never stopped since. This has been over 12 years ago. And but I want to jump into this video. I want to jump into my life story. It started out for me as a kid in Liberty, Texas. Uh, for those who don't know, Liberty is about 30 miles, east of Houston. It's a small country town where most of my family derived from, and but from that town, I was going to school, back and forth, like to back and forth to Houston from Liberty, and man, my life wasn't, it wasn't horrible, it wasn't horrified, but it wasn't that good either. But like everybody, I feel like everybody can write a book because everybody has a story to tell. I mean, if you don't have a story, then you just, I guess you're not human. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody has some type of story to tell. And it's kind of quite weird the way I became a writer because uh, I went through so much pain and going and throughout my life, and it it actually took for me to take an ecstasy pill. When I was in a town that I was living in, and I just tried this drug. Back when I was around about 21 years old, and who would ever known that a pill like that, like ecstasy, would start me on my journey to becoming a writer and author. That's really where it all stems from. Like my four books and writing over 12 years. Like my journey started with pain. Like just taking medication. Being after being diagnosed with schizophrenia. 17 years ago. From then on, I had to make a decision. And I was like, I can get down on myself and I can, give myself a bunch of pity and sorrow, or I could just, do it, find something I love to do. And all I did was turn what I love to do and into a career to me, because I have a master class online. It's on www.udemy.com, and you can find my master class. It's called How to Write a Book and Market It by Larry Smith III. And that class, I'm offering it for $99 on there. And it's going to tell you everything you need to know about writing and publishing, where I started from, all the little nicks and knacks on how to publish, who to publish with, and, just, all kind of stuff, So, but back to my life stories, growing up, I was, what do you call it? I was a curious child, man. I used to love playing basketball. Basketball was like, the joy of my life. You know what I'm saying? Basketball back then was like how writing books is to me today. Like I used to love to play basketball. That was my life. And until I found out that I wasn't gonna make it to the NBA, and then it was on to something else. And then, like it's kind of like after I found out that basketball wasn't gonna take me anywhere, I just figured like, man, you know what? I started living life, going to clubs, partying, drinking, doing all this stuff that an adult does after high school. But you know what I'm saying? Things just happened to down spiral for me, man. Like And it turns out that the drug that I took, a lot of people took ecstasy, you know what I'm saying? And it never did anything to them. As you probably know, people that took ecstasy and never did anything to them. But me, it really it really flipped my wig. Like for an entire year, I was you know, mentally, chemically imbalanced. Like, I couldn't do anything for myself. I could barely, take showers and wash my clothes, and my family had to do stuff for me. I tried to commit suicide. All of this stuff started from taking a drug, like ecstasy, and that's why like this video is for marketing purposes, but it's also for people who, what I'm saying, who are out there that don't know about the dangers of these certain drugs. Like, I know it talking about drugs, sounds like, cliche, but in the real world, they can mess you up, and they really messed me up. And what happened to me, what I'm saying, I was diagnosed with ecstasy. Well, I was diagnosed with schizophrenia, and after that, what I'm saying, right now I have to, take medication for the rest of my life. I cannot miss a day without taking my medication. And I think that right there is what drives me, to do like what I do every single day. Like, every day I wake up, I try to do something productive with my life, because I feel like I missed out on some. I feel like I'm gonna miss out on so much, and it's like where I'm trying to get to as a writer. Not so much as to become a famous author, but I want to become a world renowned author that people look to for information and guidance, and I want my life to take this life to take me places, financially as a writer. It's not all about money, when it comes to writing books, but you cannot leave that part out, because just being a poor author is, I don't think that doesn't even sound fun. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you look at people like J.K. Rowling, Stephen King, Michael Conley, all of these writers who are famous and they're making money, and but they inspire their readers, so much, and they're good at what they do, and they, all these people, they make, they're famous and they make master classes and stuff like that. But I made my own master class, and what I'm doing is I'm embodying what I want to become, the writer that I want to become, the writer that I am and want to become. I don't feel like, it's time for me to wait until I become famous. I feel like I need to drift myself into that personality of that famous author. So that's what I'm doing. I'm willing myself. So I don't discredit myself from anything, because, my books are good, to me, and I like them. I feel like what you do, you have to like it in order to put it out there, or people are not going to like it, and everybody's not going to like my work. I accept that. You know what I'm saying? So, but I do know there are going to be people who do like it, and that's okay with me. So, but I didn't graduate. I went to North Shore High School. I went to North Shore High School, and I didn't graduate with my class, but there was something in me that drove me, that told me to go back to school, and I was very, very embarrassed about going back and sitting in class with people that were way younger than me. But it was something. I went to Gulf Shores Academy here in Houston, Texas, and it was something that drove me to, go back to high school that following year that I didn't graduate. And like, man, I didn't graduate with my class. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, why do I have to go back to school? But I was like, you know what? I'm too close. I'm too close. So I need to just go back to school and, and get my diploma, get my high school diploma. And that's what I did. And I feel like, by me doing that, I feel like by me going back to high school and doing that, I feel like that actually is a part of who I've become as an author. I feel like, by me driving myself to the limit without overdoing it, I feel like that is what makes me who I am. And I feel like every individual needs to drive themselves to that limit, to the point where, that they achieve something that they really want to achieve. And I feel like you can do that without, telling yourself, "Oh, this is too much for me." No, your mind, your words are telling you that it's too much, but your mind is a very powerful tool, and I feel like we can do more than what we feel like we can. Sometimes we're tired, but I feel like if we push ourselves, we can get a lot more done in our lives, and that's why, with me writing my 4 books, I feel like I'm not done yet. I feel like I'm going to write for the rest of my life until, something happens, and I always make a joke like, I'm gonna continue to write and publish books until I get arthritis in the hands. I just make a joke like that. But, that's just what I'm gonna do. That's what I love to do. I love to write, and I feel like if in life you have to have something that you're passionate about, or else you're gonna give up on it. And if you're passionate about something, and you can turn it into a career. Now it's your hustle. That really, can solve a lot of life's problems, because you can make money doing what you love to do. You know, versus, working. Working is good. It gets us by. It pays our bills. But, like, I don't want people to be uh, just an unhappy worker for the rest of their life. I don't feel like I feel like if you're unhappy about working, I feel like there's something else that you need to be doing. I don't feel like you should do it, and quit your job, but I feel like, you should, strive to do something in life that, you know, that can that brings you joy and brings you happiness and brings you financial success. That's what I feel like as a writer. And, you know, um, like diving back into my life growing up as a teenager, I used to get in trouble a lot, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't really start doing drugs and stuff like that until I got, back like in my early 20s and stuff like that. But, I had the regular childhood life. I had good parents. We moved around a lot, from place to place. But, like I say, I don't blame I don't really blame my parents, for the life that I wanted versus the life that I had, because I feel like now that I'm an adult, I feel like I feel like I know how much it takes to just live as a human being, like, to pay bills and to do these things. Like, my parents, didn't go to high school. I mean, my parents didn't, graduate from college and go on to be, uh, these major successful individuals. But, I feel like they did their job for me, as parents, because, I'm not in prison. I'm not getting, I'm just not getting in a lot of trouble. And I feel like they did their job if I'm not, behind bars and getting into a lot of trouble, and all that stuff. So, and no offense to people who are in prison or anything like that. It's just that, because sometimes prison saves a lot of people from, death and a lot of other trouble, because if they were out here, it may be worse for them. So sometimes prison may be a good thing for people. You know what I'm saying? So that's my opinion, how I feel about it. But, I just, wanted to make this video and elaborate on really just what, drove me to become an author. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, it was pain. A lot of pain drove me to become an author. What I went through, with drugs is like drove me to become the author that I am today. And, like, my first book, Smiling Through the Pain, I wrote that book like I wrote that book about I say about, a couple years back, around about 2010. I wrote that book, and I was at a kitchen table. You know what I'm saying? I remember telling people that I was going to write it, and some believed me, some didn't. You know, and I used to sit at the kitchen table, and during that time, I was I was heavily drugged up on uh, antidepressants, and I was sad a lot, but something was driving me to finish my first book. Something was driving me to finish Smiling Through Pain. I feel like Smiling Through the Pain was a part of my life. It's not just a book, but it's a part of an embodiment of my life that I had to encounter and overcome, as a human being. And I feel like it is like someone told me that each one of my books is like a step towards that happened in my life. Like, for example, Smiling Through the Pain was a part of my life that happened, and then my second book was The Other Side of Ecstasy. What happened to me in 2004, how I became chemically imbalanced and pretty much bedridden for an entire year, and all of that stuff. And then after that, I wrote a few years later. After that, I wrote The Power of Achievement. The Power of Achievement, is a book that really woke me up, in this real world, and let me know the responsibility that I have as an individual who knows their purpose. My job is to help people find their purpose. So that's what that book helped me, do and become. The Power of Achievement. And then after that, I wrote Power of Achievement. I wrote a book called Black Gold Down Under. And that was my first story, like real story, because all the rest of my books were like, uh, just like, books like, talking about, self help or poetry or memoir, but I never really wrote a story. Uh, but, this Black Gold Down Under was a fiction. And when I wrote that, that's when it started. I started to unlock my true gift, in writing, and started to really expand because every book that I've written is a different genre. You know what I'm saying? So it's like poetry, memoir, self help, fiction. So it's like like next maybe sci-fi, or who knows? I don't know what it's gonna be, but I know, like, as of right now, I'm working on another book, and it's my next book that's gonna come out in 2023. It's called The Search for Lydia, and it's a mystery suspense thriller about a 10-year-old about a young Spanish 10-year-old girl, who derived in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and she had a started out young and had a hard life, and she was living in a foster home, and she was adopted. And after she was a little bit after she was adopted, you know, she became, got kidnapped, and she got kidnapped, and after that, they went her parents, her foster parents would looking for her and put out a missing report, and like that story has human trafficking in it, and real life things that are happening today. I just wanted to put in that story, and I just, like, that's my embodiment of work as a writer, to unlock the true gift that's inside of me and just keep getting better and better and better. And like I say, for people who, I don't know who's gonna see this video. Anybody can see this video, but I would say to people, persons like Denzel Washington, Samuel L. Jackson, Oprah, Ellen, Steve Harvey, whoever's watching, I do want to say that I don't really want to be a celebrity. There's nothing wrong with that. I just don't want to be a celebrity. but at the same time, you know, something is inside of me that wants to become a greater person. And by me making this video, uh, I want people, to see this video. I want very important people to get this message, and I want people to see the best. I want people on the next level that can see the best in me, not give me anything because I'm working for it, but I want them to see the best in me, invest in me, and I want I want God, to take me, no other person, but I want God Himself to allow these people to find me, and take me places that, places I've never seen, things that I've never done, you know what I mean? And I want to become a world renowned writer, and this is what I want to do, that's what's that's the desire that is, dying in me, you know what I'm saying? And it's burning in me, and I want to become, a great person. And I don't feel like that's just coming from anywhere. I don't feel like that's my ego. I don't feel like any of that. I feel like that. I feel like I feel like a young James Allen. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a young James Allen from the 1800s, someone who write to entertain, and inspire the people. I feel I like to inspire people. I like to motivate people because I myself, a person with schizophrenia, an author with schizophrenia, I myself know what it feels like for people to tell you that, what you're doing, you, how is that going to make it? Well, this person did this, and they tell you stuff like this just so you can feel this low, But uh, to those who are watching this video and you don't know your true purpose, don't let small minds articulate what you can do, because you have your own mind, and you don't even know the potential that you have, because I didn't know my potential before I became a writer. I thought I was just this regular person that didn't know where life was going to take me, but I became an author. You know what I'm saying? And who knows what you'll become watching this video? Who knows the next level that you'll get to? You might be the next, billionaire, or multi-billionaire. Who knows? Like, I don't feel like we should set limits on ourselves. I feel like people set limits on us. So what it does is it pushes us to think lesser of ourselves. And I feel like, for example, there's a song by Frankie Beverly and Mays, an artist called Frankie Beverly and Mays. He has in his song, he says, sometimes I feel like we try to make each other sad. And it's true. It's reality. It's true. Not all the time. There are a lot of families who are intertwined and they love each other, but a lot of times, when people don't know their true purpose, they'll try to destroy anything that you have in your future that's coming, or they'll try to discourage you, and that's the world that we live in. We live in a world, you know, we live in a world with good people, but we also live in a cruel world. We live in a cruel world where we have people who say things like, you know, you need a friend to tell you the truth about yourself. And like the great Viola Davis said in her video, she said, I feel like we use that to tear people down. Like, for example, we use criticism to really just tear people apart, man. We don't really just tell them, because I mean, think about it. If you really wanted to help somebody by critiquing them, you would tell them in a positive way. You wouldn't tell them in a rude way, because if you critique me in a rude way, that says a lot about you. That doesn't say a lot about me, because you're looking at how I'm reacting to it. but I'm looking at how you said it. So guess what? Who's the bad person in this predicament? Is it me or is it you? Because I just reacted to the way you told me something. And I feel like in this life, you know, with fathers and sons, and mothers and daughters, I feel like we need to be careful how we speak to people. We need to speak to people in a better way if we're going to critique them, if we're going to tell them to do better. Because being rude is just rude. And that doesn't feel good, because just like, you feel and have emotion, well, so does the person that you're telling is the way you're talking to, they have emotions too. So, and then all of a sudden, because we're so hard and we're so, cruel, that we feel like, you know, other people just have to take the way we say things, because we just have so much bodied up inside of us that we don't know how to talk to people. So I feel like if you don't know your purpose, don't let people around you and your family discourage you by the way they talk to you and tear you apart. And I feel like that is a very key message in today, because we live in a very loosely society today where we just say and do whatever we feel and people just have to take it, and all we're really doing is just saying and just doing things out of frustration and anger. And we really want to help people, but it's the way we're trying to help people is what's discouraging. And we don't see it that way, because that's just who we are. And you really need to change that side of about yourself, because it doesn't look good. It just, the fact of the matter is, you're gonna have those type of people and you're gonna have this type of people. But just like there are people who like to tell people the truth, well, I'm telling those people the truth. Change the way you speak to people, because imagine if somebody talked to you the way you talk to people and discourage them. It wouldn't feel good, would it? I know. So that's what I stand on, the principles of what I believe in and what's right. No, I'm not the best person out here. No, I'm not the nicest person out here. But at the same time, I try to treat people the way I want to be treated. Because I know what it feels like. I know how to put myself in another person's shoes. To be able to to be able to feel what they're feeling. And everybody can't do that, but try to do that next time you talk to someone rude. Like, just try to tell yourself, like, hey, what if somebody talked to me the way I talk to this person? How would I feel? How would that make me feel? That's how you embody what other people are feeling. So, like this video, I dived into, certain things, but I really just wanted this video to be like my like 30-minute, what I'm saying, like story about myself and how I became an author and things of that nature. And like I say, I have a master class. I have a writing master class on a website called udemy.com, UDEMY. I'll put it in I'll put it in the caption so you can see what is it called. And it's basically a website where you can go and make a video on a tutorial on teaching everything that you know how to do, and that's beneficial to another person, that can be beneficial to another person as far as teaching or having knowledge about something. And you can just pretty much get paid from that type of ordeal, like having a tutorial, getting paid from it, and make it, and just having another stream of income on top of what you have. You know what I'm saying? So you know like I say, my my Facebook handle is called Larry Smith III. My Instagram is called Author Larry Smith, and my Twitter is called Larry Smith III. And that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about in this video. I'll be each day, I'll be making more videos. You can subscribe to my channel and follow me. Uh, and anything you would like to know, you can email me at discoveryglobe35@gmail.com. That's discoveryglobe35@gmail.com. Um, and yeah, go check out my books on Amazon. Smiling Through the Pain, The Other Side of Ecstasy, The Power of Achievement, and Black Gold Down Under. And thank you. My name is Larry Smith III. And when you watch this video, if you feel like, it can be something that someone else can benefit from, then please share it, with your friends and family. But thank you. I hope that I inspired someone in this message. And I hope that, whoever you are out there that is watching this video, that is sitting in your house, in your room, and you feel like, you don't know what it is you want to do in life, and people look down on you because you're not really doing anything. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that it doesn't separate you from being a human being because you really haven't found your true purpose. It just means that sometimes that's the way some of the world see people, as in what you do. And it doesn't mean that you're a nobody. It just means that you haven't tapped into the true gift in yourself, like the true power that you hold. Like, you're gonna find it. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what age you are. I don't care where you are in your life. I don't care if you're sick. I don't care if you're poor. I don't care, if whatever happened to you, someone died, whatever is going on in your life right now. Trust me, I've been there. Like I told you earlier in the video, you know, I've been bedridden, for an entire year. I lost all contact with family members and people, and I just didn't know what I was going to do with my life. You know what I'm saying? So I've been down to the bottom, and now I'm not saying I'm at the top, but I'm at a more comfortable space in my life where I can pretty much be a guiding light to those who were where I am right now, where I was, right now. So if this video helps you, like it and subscribe to it, and pass it on to someone who could use it. Thank you. Bye.